This is how people in Collinsville show what they think of scabs. 74 men have come to work on this powerhouse project in defiance of a local black ban. It's this $26 million power station that's causing all the heartburn in Collinsville. There's been trouble on the job since it first started in 1965. 10 weeks ago, after months of industrial unrest over claims for an increased site allowance, John Hollins, the construction contractor, closed the project. 3 weeks later, they advertised extensively for a new workforce. The Queensland Trades and Labour Council declared the powerhouse black and set up pickets. 80 men came onto the job, more than half of them members of the Australian Workers' Union, which didn't recognise the black ban. The original grievance has been settled, but the dismissed workers refuse to go back until the men who crossed their picket lines have been sacked. They've branded them scabs, and this is what happened.
Anything that you can imagine from as high up, what I'd like to call it is nothing else than attempted murder, when this woman, one of the wives of the people out there, attempted to run down 2 women over here, and one of them was pregnant, and the only reason that the 2 women got away is because a drunken woman hit a tree. From that to beatings, all the way down the line to plain intimidation.
Well, the average man that comes out here, he come here for the money. That's my reason I come here, but I'm staying here and sticking it out to prove to them that I'm a better man than those fellas out in the gate. Because there's no strike on this place. Every man was sacked, and I was one of the men that was sacked on this project, and I was one of the first with 2 others to come back in this gate, and I'm going to stick it out to the finish.
The men outside say that anyone who crossed the picket line to come onto this job is a scab. Now, why did you blokes cross the picket line that had been established by the other trade unionists?
Why? Because they're wrong. I believe in a free country. I don't believe in communism. And that's what I think it is out here, communism. A little Moscow this place is.
Collinsville, an isolated little mining community 100 miles west of Townsville in North Queensland. This has always been a working man's town. Union traditions are as sacred as Anzac Day. Most of the 2,000 people who live here come from mining families. They've been reared on the bitter fruits of industrial struggle. In the old days, people had to stick together to survive, and the same spirit still exists today. Trouble is nothing new in Collinsville. Coal is the backbone of the town. The place grew up around the mines in the early 1920s. And still, the 2 Collinsville mines employ half the male workforce. This is the Dacon mine, which produces about 250,000 tonnes of coal a year. At present, it's trying to open a direct export market to Japan. The mines are fully automated now, and life in the pits is easier. But the tough traditions of the old days are not easily forgotten. reminders of the bitter past are everywhere. This is what's left of the old state mine, a decaying monument now to one of the most memorable industrial tussles fought in the town. When the mine was closed in 1961, more than 300 men were thrown out of work. The town fought back, but it was never reopened. Now the town is fighting again. Most people in Collinsville find the issues in the powerhouse dispute clear-cut. Any man who walks through a picket line, regardless of what union he belongs to, is ratting on his mates. In Collinsville, that's the worst crime a man can commit.
Feeling in the town, I would say, would be very much against the industrial renegades. I would say that they cannot get a drink even now in this hotel or any other hotel in town. They are not like anywhere here in North Queensland.
Why is that?
For the simple reason that we class them as scabs.
These are the men Collinsville has branded scabs. All of them but one are outsiders to the town. They live in company barracks on the project site and get their meals at the canteen. The company hasn't been able to buy supplies in Collinsville. It sends its own truck 200 miles by road to Townsville. The same truck also brings in beer because none of the men can get a drink in town.
In fact, one evening we all decided to go into a hotel to try and get some beer. And we stood in there and we asked, quite civilly 3 or 4 times, do you think we could have a beer, please? And they just ignored us, and a few minutes later there were 30 other townspeople outside, and the police came along. We were just told to move on. And you just can't go into town at all. It's impossible at any time, even to go to the pictures on a Saturday night. We tried to go to a dance one weekend, but we just had to get out,
Yeah, scabs. Scabs is the word they use, and they spit on us, etc. And we have to walk through. We have to turn the other way. We've not to be aggressive back to them. If we're aggressive back to them, we lose our jobs, which we don't. It's the highest paid job in Australia. And
How does it feel to be called a scab?
it's quite demoralising, actually. But when you think about it, you know you're in the right. But it doesn't make much difference when there's herds of stupid people just gathering around you. Every evening, every night you come out to that place, there's people milling right around you all the time. It's just, you can, at first it was a joke, but now it's too much. It's just getting me down. I can't go out in the town. I can't go for a drink. I can't go for a dance. I've been here about a month now. It's no good.